So I made videos about letting go, and I mentioned it's a lifestyle. Sorry, leaves are falling, it's distracting. And that it's something that you have to do like every day, sometimes like all day. The problem is sometimes you have to fight inner programming. And I'm realizing this one is hard, especially when you have PTSD or CPTSD in my case, and you don't really know what your flashbacks or your triggers are going to be. How do you let go of something, right? If you don't know you have to let go of it. So it's interesting, as I push myself to try new things, things I'm actually afraid of. I'm realizing that sometimes it's because it's going to put me in a place of discomfort. And I even picked something like relatively like super safe, like super baby step, if you want to, say it that way, to try. And I ended up having a flashback. It knocked me out, man. It just flashbacks are intense. And I was exhausted. And by the end of the day, my body was heavy. I couldn't open my eyes. I was done. And even last night, I was still like pretty tired. It takes a lot out of you. But I was able to let it go, like the trigger. Now, I think it's going to require more repetition, more practice. I don't think I can tell you I'm not going to have anxiety, but I don't see me having a flashback over it again. It was good. I mean, it was painful, but it was good because now I can let it go. Sometimes the things we're afraid of looking at the most, or the things that we're afraid of trying the most, maybe if we can find the smallest version of it and give it a go, or maybe even virtual, right? Virtual reality is crazy awesome these days. And if you have super bad social anxiety, do a virtual chat room in VR for your first time going out instead of actually going out, right? I can tell you, I'm not comfortable with that unless there was somebody with me. I think I'm okay with this, right? With the videos, because I don't have to see you, and I don't have to see your reaction to my video, and I don't have to know if you care, and it makes me not care. But if I was to have to see you in person, I would have a lot of anxiety about how you were receiving my message and making sure that I wasn't causing you undue stress or harm or anything. And it would end up making it really hard for me to communicate because I'd be really, really worried. And I'd probably just lock and freeze. Or I'd be deathly afraid of saying something ridiculous because sometimes I have crazy banana ideas that go through my head that don't seem to correlate to what you're saying at all because I see something. Yeah. Let's not get into that. Yeah. I don't know. I think letting go has to be something that you not only have to do daily, but you sometimes end up realizing that it's gonna have to happen unexpectedly in unexpected moments when you don't realize it's coming. And sometimes it might hurt more than others, and it might take longer than others. I was able to let things go, but I wasn't able to physically recover for almost 2 days. So, giving myself space and allowance for that. My house is a disaster right now, and I think I have I think I have someone coming over tomorrow at 11 in the morning. Maybe I'm okay with that. Yeah, it'll work out. Just don't have a dryer right now, so it's been kind of a pain in the ass. And then my dog had to go and literally break the bloody clothes rack. Anyways, I'll fix it. I'll figure it out. I found the duct tape. Red green show, here I come. So yeah, that was my experience with letting go this week. And so then I was talking to my therapist today, And it was interesting because she's like, okay, so, let's find out when these flashbacks happen and how often do they normally happen. And we realized after some questions that most of the time my flashbacks occur with unexpected triggers. I've been really good. Oh man, zoom, zoom. I can't see who that was, but zoom, zoom. I was really good at allowing myself to feel what I needed to feel and to let it go. And I've been really good. I had this crazy moment one day, and I don't even know if I told her this, where it like just kind of dawned on me. When I was at my grandma's, I was doing something for my kids, and I was allowing them to have space and giving them space to have emotions, and I promised I would protect them and keep them safe. Yeah, and I'm like, okay, wait a second. Why am I not doing that for myself? And it was like one of those light bulb moments. I'm like, oh yeah, I can do that for myself. Damn right. And so I had that moment where it's like, no, I'm going to protect myself. I'm going to keep myself safe, and no one's going to freaking hurt me again. Never. So that was essential to the next part, which was when my therapist and I were discussing how these flashbacks occur, how I was handling them, because they were usually the ones I hadn't let go of yet because I didn't know they were coming yet. I'm like, well, I used that mantra you first gave me, and like, I forget, it was like our second or third session. She's like, okay, I want you to practice telling yourself you're allowed. Like, just say it in your head. I'm allowed. And honest to heaven, I don't care what you want to call it, okay? That is what changed everything for me, was telling myself I'm allowed. I'm allowed to be happy. I'm allowed to have friends. I'm allowed to be late. I'm allowed to sleep in. I'm allowed to put sugar in my coffee. I'm allowed to get lost in the grocery store and take too long to get home. All these things that before would have been panics and triggers, and, I'm allowed now. And you can't stop me. So, and if you're going to try to stop me, you can walk that away. Like, far away. I'll see you, like, never. Right? Because we are allowed. So that's, like, the motto I want to pass on to everybody who's coming from any kind of abusive relationship and struggling with any kind of trauma, and you're struggling with those triggers where you walk in, and especially if it's, like, an emotional or psychological abuse that happened over a long period of time and it programmed your brain. Every time you hear those negative voices that aren't yours, that are actually from those abusers, counter it with the opposite. Like, I'm allowed. Like, if they say, well, you're fucking ugly, why are you wearing that? You're like, I am actually fucking beautiful, and I'm allowed to dress and look the way I fucking want. Sorry. If this is a minor who's not supposed to be listening to swear words, turn it off now, okay? Shh. I have a potty mouth. If you're letting your child watch things that are not rated for kids, I'm so sorry. But why are you? I'm just messing. Anyways, that's it. I got nothing else. You are allowed. Totally allowed. Have a great day.